How's it going, guys? My name's Donnie Kelly Kearns, and today we're going to be talking about the hedgehog. Now, these guys are really interesting, foremost because of their spines. They make them look like a porcupine, but believe it or not, these guys are actually related to shrews and moles. They're in the order Eulipotyphla, which means truly fat and blind. And no, I'm not making that up, so if you want to roast someone who's a science nerd, say that they belong to the order Eulipotyphla. So you can sort of see it in the face. They have that shrew-like appearance, and like shrews and moles, they eat bugs. So these guys will go out, eat things like worms, and the desert hedgehog will even go out and eat scorpions. And these guys are actually immune to many different types of venom. So of course, scorpion venom, and also many different types of snake venom. They're not as immune to that, but scientists are looking into it to see how we can apply their immunity to people. So the quills on the back of a hedgehog are for defense, but they're not like a porcupine's. With a porcupine, they're gonna stab you with those quills, they're gonna detach from the porcupine's body, and they're highly barbed, so they're gonna make their way through your skin very well. But with a hedgehog, these spines will never detach from their body unless they're really sick, but naturally they're just gonna stay on the hedgehog. And how they defend themselves is that when a predator is approaching, they're gonna roll up in a little ball, stick up all these spines that they're sticking straight up, and then the second that predator tries to touch the hedgehog, they're gonna sneeze, they're gonna contract their whole body and try and jam those spines into the predator. Now, this is a very effective defense, but these guys do have their predators. Their #1 predator in places like Britain is actually the badger. Badgers are such voracious predators of hedgehogs that scientists actually won't release hedgehogs in any place that shows signs of a badger. If they're relocating them for like a radio transplant or something, if there's a badger burrow or any signs, they are not gonna put those hedgehogs there. So hedgehogs are actually very widespread. You can find them in Africa, Europe, Asia, none in the Americas today, but back in prehistoric times, there are quite a few species living up there. And back 52 million years ago in British Columbia, you could find a species of hedgehog that's only 2 inches long. So if you can imagine this little guy, the size of a shrew, really crazy animal that sadly we don't have anymore. So really interesting behavior hedgehogs have are that sometimes they'll get some scent or food from nature, sort of chew it in their mouths, make a foam out of their spit, and cover their spines in it. Now, scientists aren't too sure why they do that. One theory is that they use it as olfactory camouflage, so that when they get into a new area, they try to smell like the area so that predators can't actually smell the hedgehog itself. Another theory is that they'll actually grab sort of poisonous material, spit it up, and cover their spines in it. And since they're immune to so many poisons, it doesn't affect them, but it will affect any predator that gets jammed by these spines. The poison's gonna enter the predator, and it makes these spines a whole lot more dangerous than they already are. So as I mentioned earlier, hedgehogs are insectivores, so they love the quick grasshopper and scorpion, but they also like to feed on berries and, believe it or not, McFlurries. Yeah, in Britain, they had a huge problem with hedgehogs licking up the excess McFlurry on the lids that people would throw out of their cars and litter the environment. Hedgehogs would go up to those lids, sort of eat around it, and they'd get their heads stuck and would actually unfortunately die because they couldn't get out. Now, this became such a huge problem in Britain that McDonald's actually reformed the lid of their McFlurry so that hedgehogs couldn't fit their head in them. So, I mean, say what you will about McDonald's, but they do care about the lives of these little guys. So if you're looking to get a hedgehog as a pet, don't expect an animal that's very active, because hedgehogs are nocturnal. So during the day, these little guys are just gonna be sleeping in whatever hide you provide them. But then the second you fall asleep at night, they're gonna be scampering around everywhere, using their wheel, making a bunch of noise. That's really the only deficit I see with having a pet hedgehog, but I will admit they are very cute, so I don't blame one if you wanna pick one up. So at first glance, this little animal may look pretty self-explanatory. It's got quills, it defends itself with them, but hedgehogs do have a bunch of cool facts about them, and I'm really happy I got to teach you guys some of them. So if you liked the video, please be sure to follow along on my new and upcoming animal adventures, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you all so much for watching.